In this episode of On the Go Travel Adventures, Kim and I talk about bundling gratuities, Wi-Fi, drinks packages, and specialty restaurants, and maybe save some money. We talk about packing for your destination, whether it's the Caribbean Sea or Alaska. We talk about embarkation day and the sail away party, and we include some more helpful YouTube channels to consider. We hope you find this information useful and that you leave comments or questions that we may be able to answer. We're not experts. We're only a few cruises ahead of you if you haven't cruised yet. We hope to see you soon out there on the open sea. When you book your cruise, talk to your cruise consultant about bundling some of these things together, because we'll talk about specialty restaurants. We can talk about the cost of Wi-Fi, the drinks package, gratuities. All of those things are additional costs, and you can find on certain cruise lines they will bundle those things together and sell them at a discount, so you can save money. If you need Wi-Fi and if you need the drinks package and if you want to include the cost of your tips, bundle those all together and buy them at a lower cost. So that's how I do it.
Yeah,
how we do
that's
it.
we usually, and it just saves on the anxiety of, do I have the drink package? Do I have this? Do I have that? You just know what's taken care of.
Yeah, it's no cost, no additional cost. There is
Right.
cost because you have to buy it up front, but there's
Right.
no additional cost.
Wi-Fi is another one that's
Yep.
like that, and that can be spendy if you pay per day instead of bundling.
Wi-Fi is not included, and depending on your need to be connected, you may or may not have to buy it. Kim requires connectivity. I would just as soon not have any connectivity. So Wi-Fi may cost $15 to $30 per device per day, and there's generally more than one level of connectivity. There's a basic package, which includes a kind of a slow internet connection, or you can upgrade to a higher speed internet connection, and those things for two mobile phones, may cost $400 to $500 for a 7-day cruise to have them connected. Another additional cost to cruising can be specialty restaurants. Almost every ship out there has specialty restaurants. They include generally a steakhouse. There may be an Asian restaurant. There may be an Italian restaurant. There may be a French restaurant. And each one of those come at an additional cost. Unless you buy that package that we were talking about earlier. Sometimes they will package 2 or 3 meals in that package too. But the meals cost $60 to $100 per person plus the gratuity.
Right.
So it's not cheap, but the food is excellent. Another additional cost might be travel insurance. Kim and I live a long way from a port, and we like to sail in the winter. When the roads are good, it takes an hour and a half to get to our closest airport. And the flights that leave from that airport to go to Florida are usually 6 o'clock in the morning. I think last time we flew we took off at 5:30 in the morning.
5:30, I think.
So we get up at 2 a.m.
Or don't go to bed at all.
Yeah, and have everything loaded in the car the night before, and we drive for an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on weather and road conditions. Mm-hmm. Then when we get there, we have to find long-term parking, find a place to park, flag down a shuttle to come and get us and all of our luggage and take us to the terminal where we can unload, go through security, get checked in, do all of that stuff. And then what if the flight gets canceled? We're along 1,500 miles from the port, so we always take out travel insurance. That at least if we can't make our cruise, we get reimbursed for it. Another reason to have travel insurance might be it may provide some sort of health coverage because you're out of the country. You're not in the United States, or you're not in your home country if you're from Canada. So health care can be an issue. You have an emergency on the ship, it might help pay for some of those costs that go along with it.
So I guess I'll take this one. What to pack? If we're going on a 2-week cruise, how many swimsuits do you take?
Not 20.
Well,
I take a half a dozen.
okay. Well, I don't.
I know.
Depends on where you're going, but we do have a scale that we take along.
Not for us. It's
A
for the
hand
luggage.
scale. It's for the luggage.
Yeah.
It's a
We don't
hand
care.
scale.
We don't care what we weigh. We just have to be able to get the suitcases on the airplane. So how would you pack if you were going to go to the Caribbean?
The Caribbean, I would have a lot of swimsuits and...
Can't wear them all the time.
Nope. And then I would have cover-ups, and I would have dresses, and I'd have a couple pair of shorts, and
then most cruise ships have kind of fancy dress nights, a gala night, and we like to
we
participate.
like to dress up.
Yeah, we get dressed up. But I'll probably wear a jacket and a tie. The same sort of thing that we would wear if we went to the main dining room.
Correct.
A lot of times it's the main dining room recommends that you dress in slacks, that you have a jacket and a tie on fancy dress nights. You can also dress in slacks and a button-down shirt. That's acceptable on most nights. But they do encourage people to get dressed up.
You will see people in the main dining room in shorts. They don't really encourage it, but
They're not going to kick you out.
they don't kick you out.
Right. So we try to dress up
It's
on
fun.
those nights. It's
Yeah,
fun to do
it's
that.
fun.
When we don't do it normally in our normal lives. So in
Right.
our cruise lives, we kind of act a little bit differently. Another thing, though, to keep in mind, though, is we're talking about going to the Caribbean. Not everybody goes to the Caribbean. There's a lot of people that sail to Alaska, and I'm not certain that they need a suitcase full of swimsuits to go to Alaska.
You know, I wouldn't even know how to pack for that, but to kind of take it back a little bit, I do remember having to buy a jacket on one of our last trips because I forgot my jacket. I just needed a little sweatshirt jacket because it was a little chilly.
In
and
the ship.
Yeah. So I remember having to go buy a jacket at one of the ports
I
because
think that was probably just to
go
because
shopping.
Yeah, just for
Yeah,
shopping
just
more
for
than
shopping.
anything.
I
If
always-
you walk around outside in the evening, it can get cool. Especially if it's a sea day and the ship's moving, you get some pretty good winds blowing across the ship. We have some friends that just took a cruise to Alaska, and when we watched their pictures or saw their pictures that they posted on Facebook, it looked like it rained the whole time. They
Yeah.
were wearing rain gear and rain suits and hats and muck boots, that sort of stuff. It didn't look like fun to me, but hey, they looked like they were having fun.
Yeah, they all had smiles on their faces and
Yep.
stuff, and I
I
just
think
was
they
like,
were getting ready to go out for a whale watching or something. But
now I would love to see whales, but I wouldn't do it there.
and they have them in Hawaii.
Okay,
We can do that.
okay,
Okay. All right. Let's look into a Hawaiian cruise.
I'm down.
Okay. Crew appreciation.
Yes.
Gratuities, tips, whatever you want to call them, the ship will collect those. They bill them directly to your onboard account. So a lot of times you can bundle them with the Wi-Fi or the drinks package or those sorts of things and get a discounted rate. But they collect those tips. It's about, each cruise line is a little bit different, but $15 to $20 per day per person in the stateroom is kind of standard. So you can do the math, but $20 a day times 2 is $40 a day times 7 days is $280. So, is that right? Did I do the math right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So it's not cheap, it's not free. We also carry some 1s, 5s, 10s that we use if we have somebody on the ship that really stands out. If we have our cabin steward, the person that takes care of our cabin at the end of the cruise, we will generally give them an additional tip if they do a great job. We have had waiters in the main dining room that have been outstanding. We have had bar help, bartenders and waiters that go out of their way to take care of us, and we reciprocate with some tip money. The other ones that I think really earn their tips are the porters.
Oh, yeah.
When we travel with quite a bit of luggage, and rather than fight the crowds pulling the suitcases, we will track down a porter and they will throw them on their cart and lead us through the terminal. And it was primarily when we're leaving, we will load everything onto a cart and he will take us right out to where we have a cab or an Uber waiting to get us back to the airport. So, and a couple bucks a bag, or more maybe, depending on how big your bags are. Ours are big.
I mean, the lines were long, and he just took us right through. So grab a porter; they're worth it.
Yep. Embarkation.
That's when the fun is about to start.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to pack our bag. We normally are leaving the hotel that we stayed in the night before. Have to make sure our tags for the ship are all on. And then
the luggage tags.
The luggage tags.
Yep.
And then we have our bag that we carry with us that has our medication, all of our paperwork, our passports, and then a swimsuit. And we want to hang out by the pool.
It's fun when you embark, when you finally get through dropping off your luggage with the porters, and then you go through security, and then you get your room tag, your room key, I should say, and then you may have to wait a little while, but then eventually you'll get to walk across the gangway and actually walk onto the ship. And when that happens,
it's a
whole new
world.
You just jump up in the air and kick your heels together and say, okay, finally.
Yes.
We're finally on vacation, and we're going to go enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing to keep in mind is that when you look at a cruise, if it's a 7-day cruise, day one is that day. That's the first day. It may be noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon before you get on the ship, and you want to start it right now. So go to the bar, go to the restaurant, get yourself something to eat, get a drink, get up on deck, go sit by the pool, go walk around up above and look at the port city from on the ship, and just think about how much fun you're going to have over the next few days, and wash it down with a drink.
Yep.
That's when the vacation starts, is when you embark. You finally get on the ship. One thing that every ship will do, provided the weather's halfway decent, is they will have a sail away party.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody will gather near the pool. Usually that's where it happens. And there will be dancing and music and people having a drink and singing, and everybody's up there enjoying the afternoon, getting ready to sail away. And then the ship pulls away from the pier and heads out to sea. And that's a big party.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun party.
Yeah. And we've done it both ways. We've been out on our balcony with champagne and just watched from our balcony.
That's on the Norwegian cruise lines. Have a bar called Oceans,
which is one of our favorites.
It's kind of a pub vibe, I guess is what you say.
Yeah, and so we've been in there and watched sail away, and then we've been up in the party.
Yep.
And I can't say I have a favorite. I mean, it's just what you're feeling that day.
Yeah, depends on the weather a lot.
Yeah.
If it's hot, you want to be outside by the pool. Awesome. If it's cool and dreary and rainy, maybe sit on your balcony if you have one. So it's all fun. There's lots of places to go on the ship. Every ship has several restaurants. I mean, 10 restaurants or more to pick from, and they're all different. They have 10 to 15 bars probably on each cruise ship, depending on the size of the ship. And the ships range from a couple thousand passengers, that's on the small end of the ships nowadays, to 5,000 to 6,000 passengers. Passengers now, that's not including the crew, 5,000 or 6,000 passengers on some of the bigger ships. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of entertainment, there's live music, there are theater shows in the evening, there are bars and restaurants scattered throughout the ship where you can sit and listen to music or have a bite to eat, or maybe it's just a drink. If you're not into that, there's library. You can go to the library if you want. You can get a book.
Yeah, I'm not into that. But they do like dancing and, you know, like the dance lessons and trivia. Yep. And yeah, there's always something to do.
Yep. We'll talk about those sorts of things in a future video, but for today, I think we're just going to wind it up. One thing I would like to say is thank you. It's important to us that this information that we're trying to provide has value, and we don't know that unless we hear back from you. So if you feel like any of this information was helpful at all, just hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, leave us questions in the comments down below. We'd love to hear those questions and respond back to them. And just keep an eye on this site. As we develop this site, we're going to continue to add more and more videos. So please stay tuned. Again, I'm Dan.
And I'm Kim.
And we are On the Go Travel Adventures. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
At the beginning of the video, I told you that if you stuck around to the end, I would provide you with some additional information, some sources that Kim and I use a lot. We've already talked about Vacations to Go. That's a huge one for us. And Cruise Plum, as well as the travel agencies, other travel agencies, and the cruise lines. But there are also sources of information out there like YouTube. YouTube is a wonderful place if you want to go and take a virtual ship tour, or learn about the restaurants or the ships, anything about the ships. It's all out there on YouTube. Somebody's documented it. One source of information that I really enjoy is on YouTube. The channel is called Cruising Canucks. They're a Canadian couple that bring their sensibilities to their in-depth ship tours, and they provide a lot of detailed discussion about the ships and the ship's amenities. They also do a great job of documenting how they spend each day, whether it's by the pool, in the theater in the evening, at dinner in in one of the restaurants, or one of their many shore excursions. They're just a great source of unbiased information, and I highly recommend everything that they do. I watch almost every one of their videos. Another good source is called Life Well Cruised. That's the YouTube channel, and it's actually another Canadian person, a creator, that goes into a lot of depth about things we may or may not have even considered, like how to pack, what sorts of things to pack, what can't you bring on a cruise ship, those sorts of things, those ideas or what she presents. She also relates great ways of saving some money on a cruise ship. So there's a lot of good information there too. So that said, we would love to hear from you. If you find this information helpful, please give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button below, and we would love to hear your questions and read them and ultimately respond to them. So keep your eyes open for more content as we continue to grow our channel. Again, it's On the Go Travel Adventures. We'll see you soon. Thanks.